Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's back. We brought him back. Trying to outdo his last performance.
Exactly. I've decided to say no.
What are you going to do to bring in more numbers this time?
To cannabis this time. So
oh, boy.
Possibly less viewers.
Why would there be possibly less viewers?
Less content.
Less content?
I don't know. I feel like I do better when I'm high.
Oh, my God. I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know what? Here's an interesting thought.
I'm a better nurse when I'm high. What?
Oh my God. Do you think that was a joke? By the way, you have to say that.
Sure.
Someone's gonna cut that up. But anyway, do you think that marijuana is a performance-enhancing drug when it's used in sports?
Meh.
Like, do you think it should be banned from competition?
Nah, you're starting to ban too many stuff now.
I mean,
it's like saying, "Oh, don't drink coffee before you perform." It's like, okay.
But like, what if you're someone who incorporates it into like your daily life?
What, coffee or marijuana?
Marijuana, like
Both.
Nate Diaz.
You
know, like, do you
think?
Yeah,
but Nate Diaz doesn't test hot for cannabinoids when he's in competition. You just can't smoke weed for like a month out of competition.
Oh yeah, it's true. He smokes like CBD joints.
Yeah,
that is true. I don't know, man. Yeah, I think it definitely should be, to be honest.
Banned?
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think it should be.
What do you think about all sports though?
All sports?
Like do you think marijuana should be banned like across the table? Like hockey, basketball, football?
But like why? What advantage are you getting from marijuana?
Well, it depends how it affects you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it affects everyone differently.
So if it affects everyone differently, there's no way to regulate that, you know?
There are a lot of like
so why would you want to ban it? If it's just something that people used to cope with.
No.
I just feel like it gives the other team an opportunity to like complain
versus
about
someone
we
who
lost
doesn't,
because they're
like what if but here's the thing, right? So let's say you smoke weed because you're anxious. Like you're a basketball player and like you get anxious to go out there. So
or even a fighter.
Or a fighter, yeah, you smoke weed, right? Like the anxiety being taken away by you smoking weed, that is you having
gaining
an advantage.
Yeah.
You go get some weed too.
But
it's
no,
out there.
but that's saying is that marijuana
not everyone
only
smokes marijuana.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
Not everyone takes Advil. It's no different.
But Advil won't have. Advil doesn't have like.
It doesn't alter you.
It doesn't have psychoactive effects to it, whereas marijuana does, right?
Okay.
Like Joe Rogan says stuff like when he smokes weed and plays pool, like he genuinely believes it makes him more focused, right?
Yeah.
And like, there are lots of.
If Siakam has to smoke before he plays, to dunk on some kids, let him do it.
But do you see what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
So
he's gaining that mental advantage.
Exactly. And mental advantages
and mental
is
amongst other things like for recovery, for pain recovery, like if you're injured and you're high, it's going to be dulled.
Well, I think about like, I don't mean recovery. Like recovery's fine. Like if you're recovering from an injury, smoke as much weed as you want, but I mean like if you're going into a game with an injury and you're smoking weed because you're hurt.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
then that's another reason it should be like that's just on top.
You have to take time off and heal properly.
I personally thought it like if I was a UFC fighter, I don't think I'd smoke weed, like even as a means of coping, because I know it would fucking make me anxious as hell, right?
If I think like if I was gonna dedicate myself to being a professional athlete, then I wouldn't do anything.
I bet you would. You want to know why? Because professional athletes are infamous for partying.
Oh yeah, they're like rock stars.
Like what are you gonna do? You're gonna avoid that? You're literally gonna avoid that?
But you drink,
No, because it's not like the UFC, bro. Like, and by the way, even in the UFC, if you test positive for cocaine or weed or any of that shit out of competition, they don't treat it as anything.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's whatever. You're free to do what you want out of competition.
As long as it's out of that range.
Yeah.
Out before the competition.
Right. And there's lots of guys that smoke weed in the UFC, like tons.
Everybody.
And then
everybody smokes weed.
I heard,
and everybody uses the CBD treatments.
I heard in the NBA, tons of people smoke weed in the NBA, right?
I mean,
of course.
I'm not gonna,
right? It's
right there. Don't take the words out of my mouth.
Ripe for it. But
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I think as a professional athlete, there'd probably be nothing cooler than like, yeah, you guys want to smoke a blunt and go play basketball, but there's 22,000 people there, fucking
Yeah.
right?
Nosebleed tickets cost like $500, and these athletes are just smoking it up before they're playing.
But here's the thing:
How would that make the fans feel?
That's also
It's
a bad
not the-
image, you
it's-
know. Like
it's not how it would make the fans feel. But what I'm trying to tell you is that they're smoking it to give them that advantage,
Sure, yeah.
right? Like they're not smoking it to be dipshits. You got $30 million on the line, and it's like, yo, you see guys, if they're out there, imagine, and I don't know if this is true, but imagine you find out someone like a big name like Kawhi Leonard, fucking LeBron James, any of these guys smoke weed before they play basketball. You're like, and they still go out there and dominate sober motherfuckers, and they put up 35 points a game, and they're doing like getting triple doubles and shit. You're like, okay, they have a bit of an advantage somewhere, other than physically.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, they have a massive mental advantage.
Yeah, but then you could also like debate the other side where it's like people that you don't know how good they could be if they weren't high. You know what I mean? Because some people feel like
No, but
Well,
I bet
clearly,
you
if you're at that level, you would know.
You know,
like
yeah.
you're good, and then you know, I don't know, you do what you got to do, and then you come back all ripped out of your face, and now you're like, you know, you're more in tuned or whatever.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Yeah, I think I don't think you
Like
should be able
here's
to.
something else that I
In competition, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel like smoking weed and doing jujitsu, I feel like that's hand in hand.
oh, for sure,
That's hand in hand.
for sure.
Like I know, and I've never like done anything like that, but I feel like going to roll with
That's
someone
a very
and you're high,
like
if you're comfortable, and again, you have to be
Yeah.
like a regular marijuana user, right? If you're someone that doesn't regularly smoke weed and you go and roll with them, you're gonna be like, dude, that was a friggin' roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
But if you're someone that smokes weed regularly and like you can hone the effects of it, right? Like you smoke so much that you're like, yeah, like there's nothing
right.
that people are gonna be like, oh, yo, this is the strongest weed I've ever smoked. You're gonna be like, okay, we'll see, right? And it'll get you really ripped, but nothing crazy is gonna happen. So if you're comfortable with pot like that, it's the same thing.
I don't think Eddie Bravo has ever been on the mat sober.
I'm sure he's, I mean, like, yeah, but that's obviously a joke. But
No,
but
that's
yeah,
clearly a
he-
joke. You know
he
what I'm saying? But
fucking-
like, yeah,
he smokes so much weed.
Tony
that guy's-
Ferguson
Tony
smokes weed.
Tony Ferguson, I don't know what Tony Ferguson does, bro. That guy's crazy. But guy's a serious athlete.
Yeah, they're all yeah,
Yeah.
but they all smoke weed. All the UFC fighters smoke weed.
Yeah, speaking of UFC fighters smoking weed, the BMF title happened. Yousef, you were here. You were at the studio for that.
Yes.
And
I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny how you called out the analogy of Dana White going up to everyone and be like, "Yo, extra $100,000 if everyone knocks out."
no, it's because I'm telling you, man.
it's
I
for
heard,
sure someone lit a fire
Bro,
under
by the
someone's
third
ass.
knockout, I'm like, did they actually have that meeting?
Dana went around and had a conversation with everybody, and he's like, "Listen, tonight's a big night for everyone. This is Madison Square Garden."
Completely sold
He
out.
goes, "Yeah, a lot of people are watching. If you want to be recognized in this sport and in the UFC, you're gonna do something big tonight." And every single guy went, "Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna blow this dude's head
Probably
off."
the most entertaining undercard I've ever seen.
Yeah, from
That was wild.
From that guy doing Arlovsky so dirty. Why do you hit Andre Arlovsky like that, bro? He's like fucking 40 years old. You don't beat up an old man like that. It's crazy, dude. They had this dude from a country that is like the first UFC fighter from that country.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
and yeah, this guy knocks out an old veteran Andre Arlovsky
With a short hook.
with a short punch. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good stoppage. It could have
Poor
went much
Andre.
worse. Yeah, poor Andre.
Poor Andre.
But, I mean, Andre Arlovsky definitely went home with a big paycheck, though. He's a veteran. And then,
I'm like a casual viewer of UFC to say, you know, the
so this is like jargon to
But-
you.
But yeah, like I enjoy it occasionally,
Mhm.
but then there's nights like that night during that card where it's like, how is this sport legal? Like, how is it so?
I
easy?
talked
know,
to
Bro, that
I
one
spoke to-
knockout
I
with
spoke-
Kevin Lee, I'm like, yeah.
I spoke to Ryan
Like, you
about
can
this in the
kill
garage.
someone.
We've had
yo.
this conversation many times before.
So
It's,
many times we'll watch a card, and
something will happen. Someone will get knocked out, and you're like, that was like damn near manslaughter.
Bro, like, you know when you see those old movies back in the day when like slaves used to fight, and you know whoever won, they ended up buying that slave.
fucking movie are you watching,
Talking
brother?
about Mandingo fights.
This guy goes, you know those movies your
No, like-
grandfather
no,
used
like-
to show you?
like Django
You guys
had a
didn't have
scene like that.
grandfather that
Yeah,
had like
that was
a
a
big
Mandingo
archive,
fight.
big archive
Yeah,
of
That's
slave
what they're
fights.
called.
Bro, when like,
But no, I've never watched those.
bro, you've never seen Django?
He comes from.
I've seen
Arabic
Django,
royalty.
but
you
like,
don't know what they are.
okay,
They're-
yeah, you're right. You know.
Anywho,
Anyways, continue.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's like
Yeah.
a glimpse of it in like today's time. Like, sure, the fighters, the slaves.
Yeah,
are
it's
getting,
like
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 nice
GSP
pay.
said, is human cockfighting.
Yeah.
It's essentially.
But then in this case, the cocks are getting the dough.
But yeah,
They get
just like Ryan
paid.
said, every so often
those chickens.
we
are
will see
paid.
something really, really violent. Like I remember the last 4 times that like, and you'll know it's violent because the next day, me and Ryan will be in the garage or something, and we'll just go like, dude, why, what
So-
the hell happened?
So for me, Raquel Pennington, when she went back to her corner and she's like,
said,
I
don't want to
quit.
go out there. Yeah.
And her corner is like, no, fuck you. You're going back out there.
They didn't say
And
that.
start swinging. Like, they literally, like, go back out there and start swinging.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad. 2, Joe Lozon literally getting beat so bad his corner threw the towel in. That was horrific to watch.
Yeah, he got the shit beat out of him.
I hadn't seen that in a long time. 3, Jessica I. That was terrifying.
Yeah,
That was damn near manslaughter.
Jessica I versus Valentina Shevchenko. She was like, Shevchenko was setting up low kicks all night, like body kicks.
Like
and stuff
literally
like that.
hitting her, wrecking
And
her
yeah,
body
and
with.
so she
with
kept
like
dropping her arm like that, and then Shevchenko eventually went, "I'm gonna change it up," and she went over the top and literally hit her like square in the noodle with a head kick. Bro, she might as well have hit her with a baseball bat, you know?
Yikes.
Bro, she was, and again, me and Ryan always say this: the knockout is really bad if the camera won't turn to the fighter because they're still
yeah.
unconscious. So again, that was the first one for me. Like I'd seen ones that were like at least in recent memory was the Shevchenko versus Jessica where I was like, dude, this sport is just fucking brutal because it's not even the thing that really affects me.
She
when I
was
think about
knocked out. She was out for like 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
Or when
like,
the
it was a
guys
very
like,
long
freeze up on
time.
the floor and foam starts coming out of their mouth. It's
Well,
like, come on.
Foam doesn't come
You
out
don't
of their
see that.
mouth. Oh,
No,
you know, it was
foam
And then
another
the
one.
Funky Ben.
Saliva.
You know, it was another one.
The Funky Ben.
Fucking
Askren,
Alistair
5-second knockout.
Overeem versus Francis Ngannou.
That was freaky, dude.
Where he like lifted off the
Yeah.
ground like in a
Me
movie.
and
that
Ryan-
man is 245 pounds.
We watched that live.
Lifted
and
3
me and
inches
Ryan
off the ground
both
with
were
an
like-
uppercut.
We were like, dude, what?
He
the
literally just
fuck?
swiped his arm at him.
Yeah,
No one should ever get hit that hard.
Ranked him.
His whole head went all the
Yeah.
way back, you know? Yeah, for sure. That one was really bad.
Yeah.
So to switch the topic,
Uh-huh.
so there's this radio station, from like Toronto, very popular. You guys probably heard of it, Rawas and Mocha.
Yeah.
So I listen to their podcast every now and again.
What's a radio station?
92.5.
92.5, Razamoka in the morning. Yeah.
Bro,
Shout out.
honestly, right now, shout outs out back.
Yeah.
That's not
So,
gonna happen.
Reciprocate that, please.
I've been like, I listen to
Please.
podcasts all the time because I find like music kind of annoying. Over like, you wake up 6 in the morning, you're not gonna listen to like music right off the bat, like on your commute to school or work, whatever.
Sure.
So you listen to some audio or
Yeah,
whatever.
I do.
And yeah,
I
know.
get fucking fired up
I know
first thing in the
Lucas does,
morning.
bro.
Yeah, bro. 6
But,
a.m. You don't want to hear Slayer?
AC/DC? That's
Just,
my
Thunderstruck while you're hammering.
part of
down
my
the
morning
highway.
playlist.
I was walking into clinical a couple weeks ago, and there's this nurse that works there. She was blasting windows down in her SUV, like EDM on full blast. And she
Right
comes
on,
out this
brother.
short little Filipino lady.
What time is it?
And 6 a.m. Not
6
even,
a.m.?
like 5:45.
Love it.
She's probably been up
Bro,
since
she's
3,
killing
though.
Love it.
How old was she?
Maybe in her mid-30s.
Oh, I see. So she just
Late
got back
30s.
from a rave. Yeah, I was about to say she just got back from a rave.
But yeah, so what I was trying to bring up was, do you guys ever think how you guys might look to someone who listens to you guys regularly? So like, I listen to the Razamoka show regularly, and there's this guy on the show, Maury,
Uh-huh.
and he's kind of an idiot.
Is he the
And-
intern?
Jesus. Wait, what do you mean he's a
And,
what do you
like-
mean
like
he's
he's just
a
a-
guy like an intern on the show? Yeah.
No, he's like their producer. He's kind of a huge
Oh,
goofball.
okay.
They mess around with like his lack of intelligence and whatnot. It's really funny to listen to.
Okay.
So I have this image of him in my head, and I've been listening to them for months, but I've never once followed them on social media or any of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But like for the past month, they've been like lacking on podcasts. I'm like, what's going on? Like all this stuff sounds pretty like repetitive. Turns out like Mocha's been away for like 6 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay. So they haven't really put out new content. It's just like old stuff
Mm-hmm.
put onto a podcast. So I go to search everyone on Instagram, and now I can put a face to everyone's voice. Roz and Mocha, I knew their face because they're on like the album of the podcast.
Yeah, the
Right.
cover.
But Maury, I have no idea who this Maury guy looks like.
Right.
I have this image of like this goofy moron type of guy.
White guy, obviously.
Yeah, and he's like gay and whatnot. He talks about his boyfriend, and he has like he says really really cringy stuff all the
Okay.
time on the and he does like hilarious stuff, like he takes his shirt off and whatnot. So I would imagine this like short, goofy looking guy, and then when I found him on Instagram, I'm like, I would have never pictured him like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just like,
Was he shredded up?
no, not at all.
Yeah,
no,
what do you look
not
like?
at
He
all.
was just like, look at these fucking
No.
puppies.
Oh, he had a
Like an average
big
guy.
old piece on him.
No.
You didn't imagine a guy with a big dick, did you?
No, but so my question is to you guys: what do you guys think other people think of you just based off of your voice?
I don't think
Like,
we have
do you
enough.
think
I
people
don't
would
think we
think
have
you're
enough.
tall?
Well, I mean, I don't think. Well, it's
I don't
not-
know. You might think I'm white.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You for sure would think I'm white.
Are you serious? You think so?
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
No, dude. Come on, don't be ridiculous.
I don't sound Asian. Okay? It's not like that.
What do you think? Yeah, but like, what?
No,
I
like
don't-
let's say you guys had like a lot of viewers, and there's some people that never went on your YouTube or anything.
Yeah.
All they did was hear your voice.
Mm-hmm.
What would you hope they picture, just from your voice?
I have no
What would
idea,
you
but
think
here's
they
something
picture?
that I heard growing. Like, so we have a friend. My voice doesn't match me physically, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because we have a friend. I'll tell you who the friend was at. You've met her before, and we used to hang out quite a bit. And she had a friend named, I don't know, but her friend had big ass titties. I remember that. What was it? What was her? Cedra will remember her name. I think it started with a C or some shit like that, like fucking Candace or something, right? Anyway, our friend got really hammered one night and forgot her phone at my house, and someone kept blowing her phone up, and I noticed it was this girl. So I was like, I'm gonna answer the phone and let this girl know that like her friend is okay, like she fucking K'd out on the couch, right? And I talked with her for a little bit, and then blah 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 blah. Okay, your friend's fine, all this and that, right? So the next time I saw like my friend, she was like, yeah, my friend says you sound like you like you're really really attractive. Like she loves the way your voice sounds. She says you're probably very attractive. And at the time
That's
I
when
was
you
like
applied for a hotline?
255 pounds, and I was like, your friend is gonna be so sad because her friend was very attractive, and I was like, don't get me wrong, I'd like to meet your friend.
Let's just have some phone sex right here. Let's just get down to it.
Yeah,
you know
that
what
would
I'm
be
saying?
cool, right? I'd be like, listen, don't
Don't.
show your friend any pictures, but call her up. I'd just be like, hey baby, like I heard you like the way the voice sounds, huh? You want me to I'd like, yeah, I can mechanically switch my voice to do whatever you need me to do. Some shit like that.
You want me to take my clothes off?
I'm grabbing the peanut butter. That's sick. That's disgusting.
Phone sex?
Does your girlfriend know you're going to be on the podcast?
I didn't even know I was gonna be on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's the way we need it to
That's
happen.
right.
But yo, so that being said, do you think how surprised would you be if you're watching like TLC
Uh-huh.
and then you find out one of the people from My 600 Pound Life, they're like on one of those, one of their jobs is like a hotline, because it's like they don't know how I look like, but it's like they have like a sexy voice.
No, but those people sound fat.
Yeah, you
In
think?
my 600-pound life, you talk to them and they're like,
Well, I mean, you can tell when someone's got food in their mouth, right?
no, it's not even that. They just sound
Or a
big. They're
fryer
just
on
like,
their
they're
bed.
like, listen, I've had a long day. You want me to take my fucking clothes off? Yeah, okay, 1 second.
Ma!
No, you want to know something? I used to look at those people and just be like I've always been overweight, not crazy overweight like that. I've never even broken 300 pounds, but I've gotten close enough.
I've never even broken 300
No, but,
pounds,
like,
okay,
think
so I'm
about
not
it.
fat.
No,
okay?
but think about it. Like,
Call
I'm
me
not
fat.
bro. If you're over 300 and like probably 50 pounds, like you're in a fucking dangerous region. I think no matter what, even if you're 6'8".
Well, for your heart. God bless your heart. You know,
right?
Godspeed, brother, is all I gotta say. If you're in that range of weight, Godspeed, brother.
Yeah.
If you're not very tall, you know,
Like
God bless your
freakishly
heart.
tall,
Yeah.
like 7 feet tall. And yeah, man. So I used to watch like My 600-Pound Life and just be like I'm so fucking disgusted at how people would, and I think it was because I saw a lot of my own like gluttonous eating problems in them, right?
Oh, 100%.
But it would just disgust me to see the enablers of like they're like in a hospital bed and they're like please just bring me something, and they'll bring them like a soda and a fucking double Whopper, and you're like, yo, you can't be eating that, bro, like you're gonna die, right?
I just need a little something.
And it used to make me so mad, but one time I watched like a documentary on it, and they're like everybody, like it's easy to get. Now some people deserve to have their ass kicked because they're like, I can't get up, and you're like, you can get up, you don't want to, right? But like for the people that were really, really abused, you're like, damn, like that's just such a shit card.
Yeah,
to be
that's the
dealt.
thing. You want to make fun of all of them until you see the really sad ones.
Yeah, and you're like, that's just such a terrible card to be dealt. And the way they deal with it is with food. And again, like I think that really upset me because I find comfort in food as well. Like I think we all kind of do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's certain dishes or
not even certain
things
dishes,
that people
man.
eat.
But like, I just like I don't know. There's something about like you just get.
Well, is there one thing that you eat that like you feel comfortable eating? Like you're like, this feels like home. You know, like
No, but I don't. I think
cereal.
No, but I think you could really only get that feeling if you were not at home, right?
True.
Like if you're in fucking another country and you're like, dude.
No, I know if I'm having kanafa, I'm only having my home kanafa. Everything else is like compared to that. Like,
You say that now, but you've
dessert,
never
but
really
yeah.
been all over like the world, right?
I've been fair enough places where
Been to
kanafa's made.
fucking Dubai, like. And
But yo,
you went to Syria. That's true as well.
I never really realized how much I ate until it got hard to eat. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
Like growing up, constantly being fat your whole life,
Uh-huh.
you just constantly eat because it's nice, it's fun, yeah, it's comforting, it's like your best friend, and you just constantly all the time. Like I would come home from like a buffet or a family dinner, and I'd open the fridge. I get yelled at by my
Oh,
mom like, "Yo, we
shit,
just
eh?
came home from
For
like
real.
a restaurant." But it's like you never really thought of anything until, like, I don't know if this is the same for you guys, but like when I lost like 40 pounds or whatnot, I physically couldn't finish my plate, and that was like the first time I ever experienced that in my life, where I would have a burger and fries, and I'm like, how did I finish these fries before?
But that's temporary.
That's true.
Yeah, you can just work through it.
It's not even.
Yeah, now I'm back
It's
there.
Work
not even,
through it,
It's
you
not
know,
even
put your
work
head
through
down
it, bro.
and-
My first day in I experienced it first day in Los Angeles. When I
Oh
was
yeah,
like, bro, I was
when we
so
were at In-N-Out.
pissed. No, it wasn't even In-N-Out. It was when we were at the Cheesecake Factory later on in the night.
Oh,
Right, I
couldn't
remember that.
even
You didn't
eat
even
the
finish your
fries,
main. Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I literally sat there and I was like, I can't do it. Like I literally couldn't even, and that is so unlike.
Well,
me.
that was off like the hardest cut we've ever done in our lives.
Sure, but that's what I'm saying. Is that was that day, and I was like, God damn. And you know what really upset me too is I was so like full and just like almost sick that I couldn't even like imagine ordering cheesecake. I'm like, I'm gonna be so full for today and tomorrow that I'm not even gonna need to eat cheesecake, right? And then the next day happened, and it's like, well, you just. You know, and you live like that hedonistic lifestyle for the week. But I remember by like day 3, day 4, I was like, holy shit. Like I'm like a thin version of what I used to be, eating like what I used to eat like.
Yeah.
Bought a 9-pound chocolate cake, bro.
Yo, that knocked us out every day.
It decked us though, and we ate. I remember when we went to Costco, and we got. Like I was like, you know what I get to do? I was like, I get to buy things that like you live on your own, so and no one can talk shit. I was like, so I bought the organic milk, and it was the full like
The full fat
homo milk,
yeah.
full fat milk, and I was like, the first thing I did when we got back to the Airbnb was like found the tallest glass, like a fucking vase, and I just poured like, the biggest glass of milk and just shut like half a fucking cake, and I was like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna sit here and absolutely deck this now. And
I
no
bought
one
like
can say
24 or 48 eggs for some reason for like
Yes,
a
you
7-day
did.
vacation.
You made boiled eggs, scrambled eggs, all types of eggs, fried eggs. Orange chicken and eggs, which we won't talk about.
Eggs.
Yeah, that was a great trip.
That was an awesome trip.
Great trip.
And
And that was over a year ago, no?
that was almost 2 years
2
ago.
years ago.
Damn.
Yeah.
Time flies, man.
That was such a wicked time, though.
I was actually talking to, I said this to Ryan. I was like, I don't know. And it's not a knock on any vacation. Well, maybe not so much for you because of, yes and no. And it's not a knock on any future vacations anywhere, but I was like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to replicate like the fun, like Los Angeles for me was very much so, like I got such a different new life perspective out of it. Like I felt a bit changed going back to Canada. And
100%.
I don't mean changed like,
No, you have
in
a
a sense-
different perspective
right,
now, though.
you know? And you're like, holy it gave me like hope and I felt great and stuff like that.
That's good.
And I was like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to replicate a trip like that. It was like the first time I ever got to go on vacation with like, oh, it's just the boys.
Well, we
right?
went to Jamaica, and like
Jamaica's great, but it's
it was
not-
really dope.
But I wasn't there. Is that what you guys are trying to say?
Are you fucked? It would have been the worst. If we talked about it when we were there, we were like, dude, if Yousef was here, he would be dragging us to the ground with shit that he would want to do.
yeah, for sure.
You
Go on every excursion.
Actually, yeah,
you would be dragged on the boat. Actually, the guy would lure you onto his boat. The hash dealer,
You want good hash for the general?
give it good hash for the general. Yeah, he's gonna sell you hash and then take you to international waters, where you can go scuba diving.
You know what? That would be actually a sick vacation.
Do you guys want to? I'm actually going to get a scuba diving license.
If the three of us,
Do you know how to swim?
fairly, like I know how to swim to survive. You've been to my remember
So
my
yeah,
pool in
you
the
know how to
apartment?
swim.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna write a bit about that.
No,
That's an interesting
I'm not
premise. When you ask someone
terrified.
if they know how to swim, and they're like, yeah, I can. You know,
Like-
I don't know how to swim well. You're like, okay, so if you were in deep water, like I mean, water deep enough that if you touch the bottom, the water will be over your head. Would you survive in a deep end of a pool?
Well, at that level, I'm not worried if I can or can't. So I'm like, I'm staying above water. You know what I mean? Now it's like, where's the closest place?
We'll
I
get to
can,
the point
get
where
a-
like you can't touch the bottom.
yeah, like if I fall off a boat or a cruise or something, and like there's a boat in the
Oh.
distance,
Hey, listen, if you
it's like,
if you
yo,
fall off
I
a
can
boat,
make my way there.
if
You
you
know?
fall off a cruise,
I'm not
ship,
worried about drowning. I'm worried about
You
getting
fall off
to
a
the boat.
cruise ship, it's over, brother. Just
Yeah.
say
that
you know,
water. You
Okay,
know,
let's
you
say
know
like
the
a-
cold dip at the gym.
A $500,000
The cold
yacht.
dip at the gym is 12-degree water.
and that's very cold.
Pacific Ocean is 4 degrees. You die of
Light work.
hypothermia, 6 minutes.
Really?
Your body will go into shock so fast. You're gonna be like, I gotta get to the boat. I gotta get to the boat. And then you're literally gonna be like, I gotta. As you're just sinking.
I'm really tired.
Yeah, you're not.
And then
you
you
don't
fall
s-
asleep
you
in the
don't-
water.
You literally
And
don't.
then you find yourself
stand-
really warm in cold water.
You
This
don't
is interesting.
stand a fucking chance.
What's this warmth all of a sudden? It's really bright.
Yeah, you actually will get
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
warm.
Because everything, all the blood rushes to your inside.
It goes to your core.
Yeah.
And then you're
Yeah.
immediately pulled out, and you're like, "That was the ultimate cold dip."
I will never be sore for the rest
you're
of my
literally
life.
Never gonna be sore for that because your blood immediately just goes jetting back through your arms and hands and feet and shit, all your extremities, and you're just like, "I'm alive." Yeah,
Yeah, go run a marathon
yeah.
now.
You're
It wouldn't even affect you.
go buy a lot. Yeah, you're literally your oxygen is at premium levels. You will never.
It's like hitting
experience-
reset on your body.
It is.
Bring
yeah.
yourself to the brink of
There's
hypothermia.
Literally no more chemicals in your body. You have baby soft skin.
Yeah.
That's what they don't tell you about nearly drowning
Yo, so
If
in
you
4-degree salt water.
let's say we had like a really, or there was like a really cool company out there.
What's a really
Where-
cool company?
Our
Le-
company.
No, let me explain to
Yeah,
you.
this is a pretty
So
cool
I've been
company,
wrong
bro.
before a podcast.
No, like
It's
an
a pretty
escape
cool
room company where it's like, give us $1,000 and you have to sign a waiver that you're going to board a plane. And then the whole escape challenge is to find your tickets back home to Canada.
Are you fucking ridiculous?
And you don't know anything else.
And if you don't find your tickets, the plane leaves.
No, you just either fail or you don't. There's like some incentive to pass. Like maybe you
What do
get
you-
like
what do you
$200-$300 back from your ticket or something.
When did you come up with this idea? 40
Just now.
seconds ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't think
I didn't
it,
think of
you
the
didn't
no.
think it through, huh?
No, but how cool would that be?
It's a terrible
Like
idea.
us, Cedra, we're all like, we pay for a vacation, but it's like it's a mystery
Where?
box vacation.
Where though?
It's
We
a
don't know.
mystery box vacation.
But, like, where
You're going to Tel
realistically,
Aviv, Israel.
Well, let's say they give you themes. You can choose to be dropped like on a jungle or an island,
Okay, so
or like in the middle of a city.
So that's what I was concerned with.
and it's like, but you don't know. Like you could be dropped in
Is
Tokyo City.
If you get
Taiwan,
dropped in a
Java's in
jungle
South
or an
Sudan.
island, yeah, what jungle could they drop you in that would be even remotely close to safe?
No, but
How
like
could
let's say it's a massive company,
And you're gonna
they
have someone.
like,
You're
they
gonna have
things set
someone
up in
pay
these
you
countries.
$1,000 to come up with an idea. Be like, all right, so here's what we're gonna do for $1,000. We're gonna drop you in the fucking jungle, and in the safest jungle I can think of is maybe in the Philippines, and that's still crazy dangerous. And then they go, so yeah, you're gonna navigate your way through a jungle. 4 normal dudes that live in fucking Canada are gonna navigate through a jungle, and you're gonna find these keys and shit, and get back on this plane like. As its little dirt runway.
Be cool.
What?
So you guys wouldn't sign up?
Never. You wouldn't.
What
sign
if
up
I
either.
paid for your ticket?
You wouldn't pay for the ticket, Yousef. He's like, all right, hear me out. So what if?
Business pitch.
Yeah.
Dragon's Den. I'm gonna Shark Tank this
Yeah,
shit
so
on air.
Literally talking to Kevin O'Leary, and he goes, "So hear me out. You pay me $5,000,
and I
and
hide your plane ticket.
and I blindfold you, bring you to the airport, and you come about on an airplane, and now the game is you find your way home."
Oh my god, Ryan's dying.
Oh my god.
It's just the thought of
It's just-
someone waking up and like, "Where are we?" And you're like, "Welcome, brother. You're in Nigeria." And you're like, "Oh shit, how am I gonna get home?" And they're like, "It's part of the plan. It's part of the game." Oh man,
It'd be cool.
you just wake up in some safari. Where are we? There's like an elephant off in the distance.
We picked that by vultures.
Yeah. Oh, you guys didn't figure out that the key was you had to canoe across the river?
You have to swim across the Nile.
You get hints.
Hippopotamuses and
You can ask for hints.
oh yeah, you can ask for hints. You just on a walkie-talkie.
Mm-hmm.
You ever? They didn't.
Or you shoot a flare gun.
They didn't release the movie because of like. That's an interesting topic for after anyway, but there was a movie that was supposed to come out but didn't. It got delayed because of a school shooting. But there was a movie called The Hunt. Remember I showed you the commercial for that?
Is that so? That got delayed recently.
Yeah, recently enough.
What's it about?
So
Hey,
You
hold on,
wouldn't even
before
mo-
you continue, see, like,
Yeah.
yo, like this could be the escape room. Like, you just get thrown somewhere there, and it's like make it back
This
to
is a
Canada.
flight path. You want nothing to do with that.
This air traffic control shit.
Yeah, so there's a movie out there and it's called The Hunt, right? And so here's the premise of the movie. There's like a group of people, right? Okay. And then they pay this like this sum of money. Let's say $1,000.
To do an escape room.
And then they essentially get put on an airplane and they're flown out for this 5-star experience in like the Sahara, except they don't escape, they go out and they hunt people. Like they kidnap, poor kids or whatever. Guys like me, you and Ryan and fucking everybody else, and we
Oh, so we
and
pay
we-
for that fun vacation,
yeah.
and then those people there
and
hunt
the
us.
escape room, yeah.
Yeah.
The escape room you're describing
Oh,
is
is that
your
movie?
escape room, except for us, where you're like, you guys are being hunted in the Sahara or Sahara, and
Or Sarah.
or Sarah, you're being hunted in the Sahara, the Sahara Desert. I don't know. I fuck up a lot of words, but no, at heart, it's all love. The meaning is there.
Okay.
Anyway, so those people that are being hunted, that's your escape room idea. You're
See?
like, you got to get out of
Not the
there.
only
You're going to be
one.
killed.
Okay.
But do you see what I'm saying though? Like your escape room ends with people being slaughtered.
Oh. No, not in my head.
No, not in your head, but in
In
actual.
Yousef's head, if you escape, you ride away on a horse
Yeah, shit
to a
like that.
buffet.
Exactly.
He goes,
That horse
In
brings
my
you to a
head-
buffet.
I don't know. I mean, not everyone gets slaughtered. Like, let's say there's 10 people. Like, 8 people don't die, but 2 people are viciously killed.
Just like real life.
What?
What?
Where the fuck is this going? Are you a hitman?
Would you guys mind if I ate M&M's on the show?
Why did you bring M&M's?
They were lame.
If not to eat.
Exactly.
What are
Jeez.
snacks if
Y'all
not
are?
to be eaten?
Oh, he wants M&M's. How many M&M's? Dude, you didn't even hand out Halloween candy. What are you doing with it?
He collected it.
You
I
robbed a
did. I
kid?
actually did. First time of my life, I handed out Halloween candy. It was
At your
adorable.
new place?
No, at Karina's place.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, you
I
don't
was-
have the funds to hand out Halloween
Yeah,
candy.
Funny enough, my landlord she texted me. She's like, "Hey, it's been a really busy year for me. I didn't have the opportunity to like buy candies and hand it out. So if you could just avoid lights." I was like, "Don't worry, I'm not even home." But like straight up, she doesn't want people knocking on the door. I'm like, well, what if I had candy prepared? I would
You know
give it
how
to them.
like you know how the Grinch is for Christmas time? What do you think the equivalent to the Grinch is for Halloween? Because even
There's a lot of iconic.
But didn't the Grinch?
No, I
the
don't
Grinch
mean, like,
didn't
the
even hate
devil. I
Christmas.
mean,
the
like-
Grinch just hated people, right?
yeah, okay, yeah, we all read the Jim Carrey tweet, but or whatever that was.
Karina
But
actually told me that like 2 days ago.
Jim Carrey tweeted that, I think.
What?
He said, like, to be clear, the Grinch didn't hate Christmas, he just hated people. Right?
Here,
He's gonna
Ryan,
put
I don't like the
fucking
yellow
M&M.
ones.
Oh, what is? Oh, I see what you did there.
Just fucking with you.
I see
This guy's
what you did
fucking
there.
funny.
Yeah, you
We should
gotta-
have this guy on more often. Are you kidding me right now? He goes, I don't like the yellow ones.
funny guy.
I actually heard. I don't know how true this is. I'm only taking a history of chocolate class in nursing.
You're taking a history of chocolate
That-
class.
The
Why do you
hard,
keep
the hard shell candy around the chocolate was invented so the chocolate wouldn't melt in soldiers' pockets and stuff like that.
Oh, so you're eating army rations is what M&M's is. You're telling me
This is soldier candy.
M&M's?
M&M's and canned tuna. Enjoy. You know those candies that
That you love eating?
that you're handing out to children
Little
on Halloween? They're enjoying it.
Those
people-
are for our fucking armed forces.
People were killed with M&M's in their pockets for your freedom, and now you just eat them like there's fucking nobody.
Like it's just a snack. Those are for the soldiers. That's what I'm gonna say to a kid next time I see him eating M&M's.
hey, be proud of those M&Ms. They helped supply a soldier out there. They
If you're-
helped
if
fuel a
you're-
soldier.
If you're not a veteran and you're eating M&M's, that's as bad as stolen valor.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Halloween. It was really nice handing out candy because kids are like super excited to tell you what they're dressed up as.
Yeah.
One kid opened the door. He's like, "Merry Christmas." I'm like, "What?" And he had like a very Michael
Like
Scott
a
vibe to him.
15-year-old kid.
hilarious. Someone wants to take a picture with pumpkins because they were carved pretty cool.
Did you
I was
see
like-
my pumpkins?
No. Yeah, I think I saw some of them. Did you carve any of them?
Yeah, I carved 2 pumpkins.
Okay. That was cool.
I took a picture, and you're never gonna believe this. I got something to tell you after, but anyway.
Side note: if you're old enough to put your own Halloween costume on, you're too old for trick or treating.
No.
Yes.
Come on.
No, not well. Like I like the parents that take their kids out, but they also dress up too.
It's for babies. It's for
Bro.
kids. It's for like fucking 6 and under.
The weirdest mix. Like this one kid that knocked on the door was like dressed up as like a mutant ninja turtle or something, and the dad was dressed up as like who's
Riley Reed.
no the black guy from Tropic Thunder.
The black guy from Tropic Thunder. Which one?
You mean Robert Downey Jr.? So he went as blackface?
And the dad was this cool blackface soldier. And you're like, oh, you're from Tropic Thunder. He just went, yeah, whatever that
And
is.
he went, what do you mean, you people?
He was actually
Oh,
just dressed up
man.
as Trudeau as blackface.
That's not fucking funny. Are you kidding me? You're gonna get political?
We can get demonetized for that.
Oh boy. That's tremendous. That's tremendous stuff. Anyway, my mom got full-size chocolate bars for the young children.
Fat little plums running around the neighborhood.
And I was like, what is this? This is like mansion shit. No one gave full-size chocolate bars when I was young. Right?
Literally, I've never seen a
like
full-size
nice
chocolate
area.
bar in my Halloween bag.
And that's when, so me and Ryan thought about it, how like if you're a young child, now let's say up to like, I don't know, probably 10 years old, right? Then you're like, yeah, you can be cute with your costume and stuff like that. But if you have pubic hair, if you're masturbating, you can't be trick or treating.
Yeah, if you've pleasured yourself before, then get off my porch, you
you
little fucking pervert.
Get off my fucking property.
You're not getting the little Snickers from me, you little fucking pervert.
This guy's got a little mustache hair. You're like, get out of here, you little fucking perv.
You got a little fucking dried jizz on your costume, little fucking peeping Tom.
What is it, you little voyeur? You little voyeur? What's wrong with you?
You don't want chocolates, you want fucking panties, don't you little fucking freak?
That's what you should, like, you look at him, like, shouldn't you be stealing your dad's alcohol? Trying to get a hand job under a bridge or something? You're getting chocolate? Put your dick back in your pants and get off my fucking property.
Go fucking smoke a cigarette.
Yeah. Yeah.
You little fucking perv.
You little fucking pervert. What's wrong with you?
His parents standing at the end of the driveway like...
And that's
Oh,
how we
poor
feel.
kids.
That's how we feel about Halloween.
Yeah.
Tiny little mustache.
Whoa.
Little mustache. Get the little fucking mustache off my property. Candy. Go buy your own candy. Let's get 16 years old. Get a job.
Go get a job.
Go apply for a job at Tim Hortons or something. Fucking
Have
candy.
the audacity to touch your dick and then come ring my doorbell.
What are you going to do? You're going to keep this candy for when a girl comes over? You're going to keep it up in your room? Hidden? No, you guys don't do that.
Do you save the candy that gets left over for the next year, or you just destroy them?
What? Saving candy?
Yeah, okay. I guess I'm asking the wrong guys. I already know the answer.
Wait a second. Wait a moment.
No, because we're the
You mean,
the
like, you
department
got-
I
you-
work at Costco. It's like I see the things that people return, and I worked like a couple of days after Halloween, and it's just a stupendous amount.
They returned the
of-
candy?
yeah.
Oh, unopened candy?
Yeah, majority of it was unopened, like 90% of it.
Oh, you crushed that shit, brother. You bought it.
That's what I'm thinking, bro.
It's
It's
so
like not even
cheap.
that expensive. It's
It
all of
depends-
it's under
it
$20.
depends- It depends who you are, right? If you're just two people and you're like, oh, we're going to give out chips and stuff like that, and like,
It depends what two people, though.
No one shows up. Yeah. I
yeah,
guess
and you
so.
got 50 bags of small chips, and you're like, I don't really eat chips. Now, I don't know what kind of person doesn't, in my opinion, I'm like, now we got 50 bags of chips.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, let's throw these little
Why
shits
would
up
you
there
return the chips?
and have a fucking party. Like, it's just missing dip now. Now I have to spend more
Yeah.
money, in fact. So if no kid takes it, I have to spend more money buying sour cream and making fucking spinach dip or something.
Ooh, your spinach dip is delicious.
He doesn't make it.
Like the one that's.
It's a family recipe.
He
It's a family recipe.
don't.
When I say him, I mean by his family name.
You mean his mother?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a family recipe.
Nope.
I could make it.
Nope.
I'm proficient in the kitchen.
You couldn't make it.
Can't make a little spin dip.
Well, your sister made it not too long ago. It was pretty good.
Yeah, my sister made the exact same thing.
Literally, yeah.
Tell me I can make some
You
spin
trying
dip.
to fucking throw around some spin dip? You don't think I can put some spin dip together?
No.
You guys want to dip off?
Someone, huh?
You guys are gonna dip off next podcast.
What
You're
does
gonna
that mean?
compare who has the better spin dip.
Who,
You're
me
gonna
or
you're gonna
Ryan?
provide yours.
You-
Ryan's gonna provide his.
Who's gonna
I'll
make
be
a
the
better
judge.
Next
spinach
episode,
dip?
I'll go upstairs and whip it up right now.
This guy said, "Who's gonna make a better spinach dip?" Are you serious right now? When have you ever seen Ryan venture into the dip category?
I don't know. I
I've
feel
never
like he
seen
could crush it.
I've never. Yeah, crush it like he'll eat all my spin dip. Crush it.
No, I feel like he'd crush the contest.
How?
I'll destroy you.
In what? A
He'll
spinach dip
have a
contest?
twist to
I'll
it.
knock you out on your feet.
Ryan.
Yeah.
You couldn't even do a spin and then dip. How you gonna make spin dip?
Hack, you're a hack comic. That was some hacky shit there.
That's what's gonna get the laughs.
That's some hack shit.
Anyway, Yeah. As far as spinach dip goes, there's a long history of spinach dip in the Jones residency, in the Jones household name. And if
Goes back generations. Let's
yeah,
be honest
exactly.
here.
To when sour cream was a scarce. That's how far back this goes. Hundreds of years, even when you couldn't just buy sour cream. Are you all right, Yousef?
How is sour cream made? Because it's so cheap. It's like $3 for a tub.
Yeah, I don't think you followed the joke, man.
You heard sour cream? Was
Yeah, I got thrown off. Sorry.
Nachos.
Bro, I literally looked at him and he was just sitting there like this. He's just like. I was like, he's not even laughing a little bit. I'm like, maybe it's just me and Ryan that find this shit funny. And then he goes, how's sour cream made? You're the best in the business, Yousef. You know that?
Well, you guys also smoked a joint, ripped a bowl, and then ripped a bowl, and then ripped a bowl.
Yeah, and then ripped
all
the
in
bowl.
the span of like an hour. So
And
what
what are you trying to
what
say?
don't you guys find funny at this point?
But what are you trying to say? You're trying to say that it
If
was
I'm-
performance enhancing?
No, if I'm a little stoic.
You're trying to say it was performance enhancing then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we find things a little funnier?
Full circle. We're bringing it home now. Bringing it home
Is
with
that
the
so-
comfortable material.
Yeah. Do you think someone that was high could put all that together?
What?
A PowerPoint presentation?
I actually have one due tomorrow. Not
ya?
due, but like I gotta present tomorrow.
You have to present tomorrow, eh?
Yeah.
How big's your class? How many people do you have to present in front of?
4 people because everyone failed, including me. So
So what's the point of even having someone go up and do a presentation
Right.
anymore?
so I made mine simple.
Just hand it in.
Right. Call in tomorrow. Be like, okay, don't feel well.
Fucking my final project for civil engineering, I had to do a technical report. It had to be a minimum of 25 pages, and we had to present that and have a PowerPoint go along with it, and the presentation had to be at least 20 minutes long.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Individual assignment.
Individual. Yeah, and like
I can't
literally
do
the
that.
presentation spanned over like weeks.
Damn.
But the deadline was due at like a certain day. So it was just like you're just waiting to present your shit. But I did mine on windmills. You know how much I learned about windmills?
Yeah.
Like
Everything?
literally fucking nothing. I just
Really?
regurgitated shit. I was reading, I was like, none of this makes any sense. Like you gotta be in this field to know what they're talking about.
Dude, you
Yeah, I
think,
guess so.
I don't know why I even chose windmills. I went up, you know what I got? 86. Boom. Fucking crushed it.
Oh, dude, and how is your business doing in windmills?
It's thriving.
How's your
Why is Lucas over there giggling?
how's your windmill company doing?
It's fucking
This
thriving.
guy goes, go up there, I fucking learned nothing about windmills, this and that, don't even study for the test.
I crushed it.
Fucking 97.
I crushed
never,
it.
Never even talked about windmills after that.
Never learned a goddamn thing.
You're a real smart guy, huh? You're a real smart Alec. Ever hear that term growing up?
Smart Alec.
Smart Alec? All right.
You know how I got my idea for my presentation? So they gave us they're like, you pick the topic, which in my opinion I find worse. Give me a topic to talk about and I can do my research on it. When they're like, just do anything, I'm like, well, rip. So it has to be somewhat related to nursing.
Are you like a living meme?
And
This guy's like, I'm like, well, rip. You know?
And I was like, lol. Anyway.
Rip.
I was like, Lamafeo.
Sorry.
so yeah, Karina was watching TikToks and there's this one funny TikTok on Lewy body dementia, which is basically like 80% of people with this dementia have hallucinations of like things. So they can see like little trolls and whatnot. And it was like a funny TikTok. I'm like, I'll do my presentation on that.
Oh, I bet that was easy to follow.
What do you mean?
I bet seeing some, like, what did you have to do your presentation? Like, you had to research that?
Yeah, but just one article.
How? Oh.
Yeah, very simple. It's more of a
All right.
a
Yousef.
completion mark versus like a grade.
Okay.
Me and Cedra were in a class called Senior Seminar, and the entire class was one course based on one final research project that was worth 80% of our mark.
Yeah.
right?
Well,
That's what mine was.
my history of chocolate's very
but
like
we
that.
had to walk around and get 100 surveys filled out,
Yikes.
and we had to have the questions on the survey.
It's easy.
We had to have the questions on the survey looked over by the ethics committee.
Easy.
Right? You know what our question was? It was essentially like, are you afraid of a terrorist attack occurring on campus?
Yes.
And
I think I remember you telling me this.
and
Yeah.
people were like, so there was a question we had on the survey that was like, would you like to, like, are you interested in learning about firearms? And if firearms were accessible in Canada, would you consider purchasing one? And my teacher argued with me and said, like, you can't put that because one,
Why
like,
not?
no one's going to, because it's just the way you word stuff. You can skew an opinion, right? But it's a bullshit way of, it's like fucking stats and stuff like that too. But anyway, that's besides
That's a very
the point.
good question. Your instructor's just being salty.
Fucking like 85% of the people that filled out the survey were like, yup. Like we had like 5 different variations
Really?
on the survey of like not at all, somewhat.
Everyone
Yes,
wants a gun, eh?
Very much so. Yeah, we were very surprised. 98% of people.
What's that there, Lucas?
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
But and then like almost 100% of the people that we survey said they would like to learn some form of self-defense.
Yeah.
Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And yet nobody wants to talk about Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, baby. Muay Thai is the way to go, I believe.
Lucas, we've been running for a while, eh? How long has this been?
That's like 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
thought.
nailed her.
Who?
Gang,
Me.
gang. Yo, so Ryan, do you actually know how to
Nailed
play the piano?
Yes.
But you're saying like you were 5 years old when you did this. So how could you actually pick this up?
No, I used to play like piano recitals and shit.
For like grandma and grandpa?
No.
So what can you
For
play?
the Royal
like,
Conservatory of Music.
Oh,
I used to go. No, I swear to God, I used to go to like big halls and play for like 300 people. But
What would
like
you play,
it was
like,
like it
jingles?
was like it was presented. So there was instructors. So hear me out. So there are instructors that are like
you didn't cut off your mic.
hired by the Royal Conservatory of Music, right? And then you run these private piano lessons or whatever, and then you can bring your students to these recitals that they have like bring a shitload of people, and then you go like based from like the lowest skill level to like the really like the expert guys.
Where were
so essentially, they just had
Like,
everybody's
in the middle.
families. They had
Okay.
everybody's families show up for these big things.
Yeah, and there was like a shitload, like fucking like literally like 200 people will go up to perform.
But that's because there's probably 70 people in the class. Like it wasn't 300 people for you. Like
No, there
300
was like
No,
no,
but, like it
when
wasn't like 300 people showed up to watch you play piano.
not just me.
There's like 20, 30 kids there, right?
Yeah, I was just in the lineup.
Oh, you were on. That's dope. You made the lineup. That's
Yeah, I
sick.
was in the
Were you on
lineup.
the marquee?
What?
Like out front was your name on the.
No, that was not me. I was not headlining.
In a
No.
headlining performance by
I didn't
Ryan
say
Lee
Ryan Lee
playing-
sold out with exclamation marks. No, I didn't say
playing
that.
"Mary Had a Little Lamb."
No.
You know what I did do
Boom,
a couple weeks ago though?
bum, bum, bum.
That like after experiencing, I'm like, wow, I really gotta do more of this. Cirque du Soleil. Have you guys ever been to like a circus?
This
No, but
this
you
guy
know
does
what I've
This
seen?
guy does the monkey bars once, and he calls it Cirque du Soleil. Like,
I've seen this this fucking Shaolin monk show,
just joking.
like this live show on a stage. I forgot where it was. I think it was Ontario Place for a Chinese New Year
Was it
thing.
in Kent?
Might have been. But
Okay.
bro, this guy was literally, they held a spear like upright like that.
Oh yeah.
And they put the guy on it, like on his belly, and just spun him like that. And he was
Yikes.
literally spinning on the top of this spear. And I was like, this is fucked.
Right? Yo, it's completely different from because you can obviously go on the internet and see all this shit on the TV or on your computer, but seeing it live
Yeah,
is
seeing
just
it live is
ridiculous,
anxiety inducing.
right? Like even something as simple as a backflip, that just seems like you just shrug off if you saw it on your phone or something.
No, if you land
But-
that wrong, you're literally breaking your neck, and you're gonna see a dead body on stage.
Well, had you ever been anything like you ever been to anything like it that was similar? Like you ever
No.
been to the circus or anything
Nope.
like that? No.
So it was really fun.
I find it fucking terrifying. I've
Good
been
excuse
I've
to-
been to like a circus performance before, and I was like, this is horrifying. I don't want to watch this.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I was young too. I was like maybe 12 years old. I just like it's
What turned you on?
you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Yep. Mm-hmm. Lucas was there too, and I remember being there and looking
What was
at
off
it.
about it?
Nothing was off about it. It was all great performance. But I was just like watching it. I'm like, yo, this is so unbelievably dangerous for no good reason. It's like the only reason we're here
Coming
is to
from
be
the guy
like,
that like loves UFC.
it's different though.
It is different. Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, you went on. Lucas rode an
What?
elephant.
You rode a circus elephant?
Yeah, Lucas rode an elephant.
Wow.
That's awesome. That sounds fun.
No.
No. Anyway. But I just don't, I don't know. There's something about it where I'm watching it, I'm like, wow. Like, hey, don't get me wrong, it's very impressive. Like I all the respect in
Bro,
the
those
world.
trapeze artists, they make me so nervous.
Everything they do is, bro, when you're up there with a fucking, like, it's not even a rope, it's like they're climbing a
Bro,
curtain.
what I saw was 3 guys.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Doing.
Bro, what I saw was 3 guys standing on each other's shoulders. All like not, it didn't get like by the third guy. It was like a skinny little 12-year-old. No, it was like all like probably around 6 foot, like lean dudes, like in their late 20s, maybe 30s, all on top of on each other's shoulders. So it was 3 people high. Then they all fell to the ground, but the top guy was holding like a bamboo stick, and there was people on the ground. They caught the bamboo stick and like did like a huge push up, and then the stack of 3 guys went flat on the ground, then back to standing up. Like, what? Bro, it was unreal to see. Like, they did not, like, no one fell, obviously.
Yeah, but you gotta understand the people that do the
And they
Cirque du Soleil
maintain that,
shit
like-
have been contorting their bodies for like since they've been 3 or 4. Like it's similar to watching like baseball when you see like guys from the Dominican or all this stuff in baseball. Like that's all they know. Like that's it, right? I imagine to be similar to Cirque du Soleil. You're like, bro, how does someone do that shit? And it's like,
I feel
well,
like you have to be born into like a circus family or a family of acrobats.
no, they take. I
or
heard
whatever
in
fuck.
places like China, like if you just show some sort of high level of gymnastics, they just take you. Like you're
Oh.
just sent to the Olympic
Yeah.
training facility.
Oh yeah, but they train you hard as fuck.
No, it's
And, like,
brutal. It's brutal.
absolute brutality the way the Chinese people train their gymnastics
It's brutal. And it's
at a
the-
young age. Like they force you
and
to do the
those-
splits and shit.
yeah,
Like
and those kids end up being sent to Cirque du Soleil afterwards and stuff like that. So
or
it's
win
like they're
gold medals at the Olympics and
well, of
shit
course,
like
yeah,
that.
but like the people like they're probably Olympic medalists that are in the Cirque du Soleil. Like, what are you gonna do? Fucking
yeah, for sure. There's-
perform
yeah.
forever,
Yeah.
right? But it's like, yeah, if you know, it doesn't seem all that crazy when your whole life, like you're like, yeah, I've been doing flips literally since I was like 4.
You know what went underappreciated at the Cirque du Soleil I went to? The live music. Bro, they had live drummers, singers, all the music was
It's a
live.
big
It was
show, man.
ridiculous.
I imagine
man.
in Vegas it would be wild.
Right? Yeah.
Blue Man Group.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even know what kind of music they play.
Yo, something just came into my mind. I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about, so you know in golf how like no one cheers. It's always like this is how they clap,
Mm-hmm.
and like there's never any noise. So they were talking about how
Right.
like every other sport, literally every other sport, there's like fans cheering and booing and everything, right? But so some guy, Tiger Woods, is like coming back into golf or something, and he's going to hit the golf ball, and some guy just before Tiger Woods hits the ball yells like, "Get it in the hole!" like super loud, and then obviously Tiger Woods messes up his shot. It doesn't go nowhere near, and then like he blames that entire, whatever they call it in golf, on the guy shouting at him, and it's like the guy got so much backlash and so much shit to it, and then I'm pretty sure this was Razumoka, and the guy goes to say how he's like, "Yo, if a guy on a baseball field can hit a ball coming at him like 100 miles an hour while everyone's shooting at him,
That's
and
different.
you can't hit a golf ball
But
while
that's
one guy
different,
shouting at you."
though. But like that's different. See,
But
if
no,
you-
but it's like he had a really good point. Like, yo, you're telling me that
it's not a
it
good
is more
point.
strenuous
It's
on the
not.
golfer than
It's
it is
not,
the
though.
guy with a
But
ball
your
coming at him.
your entire life as a golfer, like everything you know from golf is people are quiet for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Okay,
if
so
you're
do
if
you
you're
think
always
the sport
used
should
to
change
people,
and people should be cheering now?
no,
Why do they get it easy?
they don't get it easy. That's a fucking difficult sport. You never
No.
even played sports.
No,
You
no,
have
I'm
no
I'm
idea
saying
what
no,
you're
I'm-
talking
no,
about.
No, I'm saying about the fan base. Why
no,
do they
you're
get- why do
not.
they
You're
get it
talking
easy
about
with
the
fans?
athletes.
No, why do they
The
get
fan
it easy?
base. The fan base respects the fact that this sport is not like fucking.
They need the focus.
They need that focus. In
What
baseball,
other sport
there's
is like
no
that?
opponent. There's no like like Tiger Woods is just going to get a score at the end of this. If you're playing baseball, you have a pitcher on the opposing team trying to strike your ass out. Like you're trying to fuck up that team. Like I'm a Jays fan. Like the Yankees show up, you're just like fuck you and shit. Like you want that guy to lose, but if you're a fan of Tiger Woods, then you're doing him a disservice. Clearly, if you cheer or something like that. But if
But if you want him to lose because you want the other guy to get the gold,
who's the other guy though? Like how can
because
you have
isn't it
another?
whoever has the least amount of points?
But like how can you have
wins?
another dog in the race? It's such a singular sport. It's
No,
like
but isn't that how golf works? Like you have all these contenders, whoever has the best score.
yeah, okay. And you're
right?
saying
And
that
if like
you
Tiger
like,
is like cutting close to
but
like
if
first
you
and
like
second,
someone that much that you're gonna like
well, it's more or less
that's sabotage.
sure.
It
Yeah, but that's
is.
sporting.
It's not
that's what
sporting.
sports
Like
is.
It's different though. That's not. It's
Like,
not
there's
in the
a
same setting. It's like different from booing a team. You know, like you're
let's
purposely
say
trying to
it was
fuck
your
them up.
family member
okay, so here's
that
a perfect,
was runner up to Tiger
here's
Woods.
a
Wouldn't you
perfect-
be like
No, but that's
shouting at Tiger Woods?
Like
But the
that's
guy-
the
here's
equivalent
first
of
of
like
all
if
two
you're on the
things.
ice and like someone throws like a
That's
fucking
exactly
second
what
puck
I
on
was
the
thinking.
ice.
Yeah, what if
No.
Yeah,
not even
it's
not even a second puck. Like you go to a boxing match, you go to a UFC fight, we all get beers and shit. You have every power and right to throw that fucking beer into the ring. You could if you wanted to. But no one does. Why? Why not? Because like and now yeah, it's against the rules. It fucks up the the layout of the match and stuff like that, but they're going to continue to box after, right? Why don't people do it? Like if you really hate someone else, why don't you throw your beer at them?
Because throwing
Sure,
a beer
but
in the ring will fuck up a fighter's mentality for sure.
I don't know. I feel like that guy did
Like
something
why don't people
minuscule.
throw their like now this happens in Brazil sometimes if they really don't like someone like but why don't you throw your beer at someone like why doesn't if McGregor is fighting Khabib, right? You're a huge Khabib fan. Why don't you throw your beer at McGregor? Now you'll be kicked out of the. I'm sure the guy that shouted to was kicked out of the fucking PGA match as well. Like you can't,
100%, yeah.
right? You throw your beer at a guy, you'll be kicked out, huh?
Oh,
What about that? The kiss?
Yeah, the guy kissed him on the cheek
That's
before
different.
he walked in.
That was old school UFC.
That is old school shit. Everything goes.
No, but that's different. That's not you throwing a beer at someone. Like I'm just saying, like there are things you can do and there are things you shouldn't do, and like the guy, you have every right to go and fucking be like, ah, before someone swings for whatever when they tee off for golf,
Yeah,
right?
anyone in that crowd can do that. Like yeah, everyone has the power to do that.
But like it's
you don't.
unsportsmanlike.
Hey, you don't.
And
I don't know.
yeah, but what's your argument for it?
Well, the
You would
Raws Mocha
purposely
had a
sabotage-
strong argument.
What is
How
it?
like someone at that level shouldn't be like complaining over just a shout. You know what I mean? Like
no, listen,
they're-
I'm
at
sure
that
Tiger Woods.
professionalism,
I'm
it's like,
sure.
No,
is
but
it-
that shout is not part of the sport. It's not anticipated.
yeah, but you're really gonna
Golf-
blame.
a
No,
golf
here's the thing.
is
I think that if
that
Tiger
hit.
Woods bombed that whole fucking course, like if this guy, there's 18 holes on a course, and if this guy's at hole 16 still fucking it up, you can't be like that tee off was really what put me here. You could be like, okay, those first 3 holes, like yeah, that's shit, but ultimately, like the ball got back. If you're a professional, the ball's gonna get back to where you need it to be. I think. Now, if you blame that whole 18 holes, you're like that guy fucked me up in the beginning, and that's why this went wrong. Not really, but for you to make a claim that it's okay or that it's acceptable for that guy to have done that just because other sports have that, like I just think that's
not
bullshit.
that it's acceptable. It's just more of like kind of funny how the professional athlete would use that as an excuse.
You got to understand what it takes.
It's
like,
a different
prof-
sport though. Like it's the sport of golf is like it's supposed to be every shot is supposed to be a perfect, like you're trying to your best to make your perfect shot. Now you got some guy purposely
and it's a super
trying to fuck you
respectful
up.
sport.
It is. The tennis is like that too.
Yeah,
When they're rallying, it's dead quiet. They only cheer after they're done.
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
That's something you only learn if you go to the big tennis events.
Oh my god, I have a huge flashback. I used to play volleyball in high school, and obviously they wouldn't put me on because I was still a chubmeister. But I would do my best to be the best bench warmer on my team. So every time the other team went to go
That's why you're the
serve,
best tourist.
every time the other team went to go serve, I would say something, like I would shout at him, and it would mess him up
This
9 out
is
of 10
where
times.
now we're learning more about where he's
I
coming
got-
from.
I see.
I got pulled to the side. My coach had to tell me to stop, but I'm like, but it's helping our team out. And I got to a huge argument, and then they had to make like a whole thing where like no one in that thing could like cheer. or
Because
say anything.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
that's not part of the
It's
sport.
not part of the sport, and you're
But-
free to do that, but you're not like it's not something that you should do.
Yeah, but see, then that was affecting my team, so I kind of.
But it always ends up
It
affecting.
benefited me to shout at him.
No, but like again, golf is one of those sports where it's like who are you affecting other than one guy? Like you have a grudge against this guy? Like you don't have a dog in the fight. If you're
No, like
in
if
that
you
But if you're in the PGAs, right? Like if we all got tickets to go watch fucking Tiger Woods play golf, right? If you are a fan of his, then why the hell would you do
what if you're
something
not a
like
fan
that?
of this? What if you're a fan of the guy that's
But
like
why
so
are you?
close
But
to
why
him?
are you not a? But like that doesn't make sense. Like that's so unsportsmanlike.
True.
Like it doesn't. If what's that? Like Mickelson or whatever is it? I
Phil
think
Mickelson?
Phil Mickelson. If you're like I'm a huge Phil Mickelson fan, and he was first place in whatever the tour,
Is
and
it?
Tiger
Is
Woods.
that his name?
I feel like that's close. If it's not, then whatever. We're gonna call him Philly Willy from here on out. Yeah, exactly. I've been wrong before. Anywho, yeah, and you're like, dude, fucking Phil's up or down 2 on Tiger Woods, and he's close, and you're like, I'm gonna fuck up Tiger Woods's that's sabotage, and then Phil Mickelson ends up having to pay the ultimate price for that because it's gonna be like a Phil Mickelson fan sabotage Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Like
Sucks for Tiger Woods.
it sucks for Philly Willy
Sucks
too.
for everyone. It's a lose-lose-lose.
I don't know, bro.
Have some
Check
respect
the-
for the game.
But again, that's the thing though, is that Yousef never really played sports. I don't think, like at least not organized.
I've played a lot of sports. Okay, have you heard of esports?
Oh shit.
Pew pew.
But like if you played sports growing up, you would know that there's just like a code of conduct that you kind of just adhere
It's
by,
an unspoken rule, brother.
Okay.
right? Not if you grow up fucking in the streets of downtown Toronto with a Windex bottle and newspaper cleaning people's fucking windshields.
Yeah.
All right. That's why Yousef wasn't playing organized sports. He was earning toonies. Very
Or a
what-
chocolate
Canadian.
bar.
Yeah, speaking of which, what's the earliest thing you did as a child to get money?
I worked at Little Caesars and held the sign.
That was your earliest thing, your earliest memory?
No, not my earliest memory of like not like a cat. There's a difference between like a cash job, your uncle being like, I'll give you $80 to fucking pull the carpet out of this house and or something like that, versus like an actual like I'm getting a paycheck job. Then yeah, it was the Little Caesars one.
But what about cash job? What if like something
Oh
that
man,
you
my
thought of to
whole
make some cash?
life.
First
Something
cash
that
job I
thought
had
of.
was teaching kids how to skate. That was the first cash job I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Streetsville.
All those kids are not playing hockey now.
They're all
'Cause they
actually
never learned how
they're
to
actually
skate.
all fucking prospects now.
Have you guys ever done newspaper route?
No.
I didn't
No,
do newspaper.
I did for like a couple weeks. I'm like, fuck this.
I heard it was like $10 a week.
Bro,
oh my
they-
Someone
god.
told me, and I was like, "You want me to do that for $10?" I was like, "Does that even make sense?"
Bro, as a kid, I knew it was BS because they would pay me, I think, 4 cents a house. So they pay you your average rate to like fold it, get it all prepared, and then for every house that you deliver,
Wait, you
the
have to
newspaper
put the
for-
newspaper together yourself?
yeah. Well, they come in like packets. You just gotta like kind of put them on top of each other and then put the rubber band or whatever. I don't know how it works.
I didn't
now,
know you
but
had to do that yourself.
This is like 20 years ago when I was like,
Yeah, they need you to
okay.
do that fucking manual labor, buddy.
so your hands would be black by the end of it. Like you needed to wear gloves. So they would pay me like 4 cents a house, like something ridiculously low. So what would I do to save time? I would just have it in a huge buggy, and then I would just walk along the sidewalk, throw it, and I'm done. There you go. Like the whole street, I'm done. I made like $1. Bro, I would get complaints like, no, you need to drop it off to their doorstep. I like at 13, I was like 4 cents, and I just hung up. And guess what? I kept my job. They're not complaining. I was like, okay, find someone else. Like, I don't care. It's ridiculous. But other than that, I remember I used to grab my dad's lawnmower, just walk around the neighborhood, and I would like
I would just mow people's
mow
lawns
people's
for
lawn
fun.
for like $20 and stuff. I remember this one Asian lady wanted me to mow her front and back lawn for like $5. Like, you're ridiculous.
And that was when you met Ryan.
You strong boy.
That was when that was the going fee for Ryan. And she's like, if my son does it for this price, then you're gonna do it for this price.
But yo, at such a young age, what's your motive to make money? Because mine was like to buy a new PS2 game or something, or
Football
Game
gloves.
Boy.
Athletic
Actually?
shit.
Football. I Scouts honor swear on my life. There's a pair of white Under Armour football gloves that I wanted so fucking badly because I would always play football and I didn't have like gloves, and I saw dudes out there with dope gloves and like visors and stuff. I was like, what? I'm like, these guys aren't very good. I want the nice shit too. I'm like, I'm one of the better guys on the team, this is when I was young. I was way bigger than a lot of the kids too. And so I got the job, and the first paycheck I got was like $93, right?
Oof,
and I
to
went,
a young kid, that's a lot.
oof, that was a shitload. And then I went to Sports Check and I bought a pair of like the exact white Under Armour gloves I wanted. It was $88. And I remember thinking to myself, like, all that it was like I remember it not being satisfying at all because I was like, dude,
yeah.
holy shit, that was a lot of work. I'm like, and I just burned
Yep.
it on these and I used those gloves like to the nth degree. I'd fucking use them to play football at practice, use them during games, I'd use them in the streets to throw the football around. Like, I used the shit out of those
Kept them in
gloves.
good condition.
They're football gloves, man. How are you gonna keep them in good condition? I was a friggin' linebacker. Like, they got fucked up, but
Okay.
but like, but yeah, dude, I remember buying them and being like $88, like $93, 88 of it is just friggin' gone.
Yeah, I remember
Should have
as
bought
a
them at
kid.
Costco. You could have returned them today. Got
They
your full
don't
money
have
back.
football gloves at Costco. You fucking, what is wrong
That's
with
true.
you?
Yeah,
They
well,
have golf gloves.
Oh.
Holy
Okay.
shit,
Fuck,
Brendan
man.
Schaub, what's wrong
shut the
with
fuck up. I don't even want to say it anymore. Lost my train of thought.
you? Oh, Ryan, you're fucking worse than him then.
God
Ryan, what was
damn
your
it.
motive to make money as a kid? What
Shut
were you
up.
buying?
What was that? What did I want to buy? I wanted to buy
Some
a
dim
composite
sum?
hockey stick. I'm done.
I'm kidding. Sorry. So hockey stick?
No, porno mags,
Okay.
hustler, playboy. You feel me? Good housekeeping. Stolen.
So you wanted a composite hockey stick.
Yeah, I did.
Which one?
A Reebok one.
Reebok one.
Yeah.
Which one?
It
Was it the one with the holes in it?
No, it wasn't the one with the holes in it. But I remember I picked that one up one time. I was like, this is the future of hockey
Yeah,
sticks.
you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Speaking of
No.
hockey sticks, I remember growing up as a kid, my house was like known for the house to go to whenever you like want to just fuck around as a kid, because like there was like no rules in my house. Very much like your house now. So like my friends would come over with their mini sticks, and we would boil their like mini sticks and like curve it to whatever, all in like my kitchen, because like my parents were never home and shit. It was just funny.
that was sick. That was sick. That was a sick story.
That's such a bullshit story that my brother tells. Like, my brother tells such a false narrative of a story. He goes, yeah, so me and my brother would play mini sticks and he beat the shit out of me. I was like, beat the shit out of you? I don't know about that, but if I beat up Lucas, yeah, I fed my brother punches to the face. That makes sense.
Yikes.
No, none of that happened, but we
Ryan, did you ever
were
beat up your little brother?
Yes.
roughhousers.
Yeah.
To this day. Fuck you mean? He's a little brother. Oh, fuck you. What else are they? They're punching bags.
I'm not gonna lie, you saw that Instagram post with Ryan and his family?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan looked like the mob boss of the family, and everyone else looked like a minion next to you.
Well, yeah, because I have very tiny cousins, and my brother looks like this. I'm the only one that's like over 200 pounds in my family. My uncle, the oldest uncle on my dad's side, he comes up to me. He goes, "You got to be at least 185." And I was like, I wish I was 185 right now.
What's the perfect weight for you, Ryan?
185.
What about you, Thomas?
Perfect weight for me. I don't know, 225.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you
260.
now?
What do I weigh right now?
Yeah.
Maybe 205.
So you want to gain more weight?
20 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Muscle.
Okay, that's strange.
Yeah, I just want to.
Oh, like muscle.
Yeah, I don't want to
Okay,
put on.
fair
I
enough.
don't want to put on fucking 20 pounds of
I
fat.
want a 20-pound beer gut.
Yeah, you
'Cause
know.
no one
brutal
ever
it.
said that.